Ladybower Reservoir is a popular long walking spot and is one of 3 dammed reservoirs in the Upper Derwent Valley in Derbyshire, England, in the Peak District. It is the largest of the reservoirs and is fed by the River Derwent. The area is now a popular walking and hiking spot with plenty of ancient, old and recent history surrounding it. History. The reservoir was built in the 1930s and 40s to supplement other reservoirs in the area, supplying the East Midlands with water. Unlike the other dams in the surrounding area, Ladybower's core is made of clay, 100,000 tons of it, and not masonry like other dams. The project was initially delayed in the late 1930s due to the outbreak of World War II, but construction continued throughout. King George VI and his wife Elizabeth officially opened the reservoir in 1945. A monument to them commemorates this. The building of Ladybower meant that the villages of Ashopton and Derwent, along with their woodland church and manor house, had to be submerged under water. Ashopton's buildings were demolished before the reservoir was filled. However, the submerged village of Derwent is still visible on very rare occasions when the water is low. In the 70s, a man had to be rescued after getting stuck in the mud trying to get to the village. The church's clock tower was left standing and visible until the late 1940s, until it was deemed to be a hazard and was blown up. In the 1990s, the dam wall was raised due to the risk of the reservoir overflowing because of major flooding in the area. Today, the water is used to supply drinking water and hydroelectricity to the East Midlands. Drinking water is treated in Bamford and serves the cities of Nottingham, Derby, Leicester and other parts of the East Midlands. The Reservoirs Aqueduct passes through the grounds of Chatworth's house and is marked by a series of valve houses built of stone and steel chambers. A tunnel also carries water from the reservoir into 2 other dams to supply Sheffield with water. The dam's plug hole is famous for featuring in the Mission Impossible films, and they are even returning to film another part of the Peak District in the latest Mission Impossible. What's around? The reservoir is a day's walk in itself. However, there are many sights to be seen around it, including Ladybower Dam, Derwent Dam, Tip the Sheepdog Memorial, submerged villages, viaducts and bridges, Bamford Edge, and a lot of wildlife. There are many walking and hiking routes around, and it's also close to the villages of Bamford, Thornhill, Hope, Castleton, and Hathersage, where there is plenty of history and sights to discover. If you want to visit the reservoir, all routes are open to the public. There are several secure paid parking spots, or you can even catch a bus to it. Most of the routes around the reservoir are paved and are relatively flat if you're planning to do a day's walking.